Most babies start developing their hearing while still in the womb, prompting some hopeful parents to play classical music to their pregnant bellies. Some research even suggests that infants are listening to adult speech as early as 10 weeks before birth. A study of nearly 2,000 children found that those who reported playing video games for 3 hours per day or more performed better on cognitive skills tests involving impulsive control and working memory compared to children who had never played video games. Until now, Mars has been generally considered a geologically dead planet. An international team of researchers reports that seismic signals indicate volcanism still plays an active role in shaping the Martian surface. Eating a handful of almonds a day significantly increases the production of butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that promotes gut health. Whole almond eaters had an additional 1.5 bowel movements per week compared to the other groups. Your subject outlines are a good place to go to find information about which textbooks to buy. You will usually be given one of these for each subject in the first lecture, but if you are missing one or need one earlier, then you should contact the subject coordinator. Most people do not realize that some banks literally make money by giving loans without having money on deposit. The system is called fractional reserve banking and is used in most economies. It sounds as though it is safe because it says that banks have to keep the fractional of their deposits with the reserve bank. Globalization refers to a set of changes rather than a single change. Many of these changes are social, cultural, and political rather than purely economic, and one of the main drivers in addition to the global marketplace is the communication revolution. The most obvious change is that 46% of college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, it was only the third year that women had been admitted, and then seemingly, about 70% of students were male, and if there was a woman tutor she must have been a male impersonator. We've spent a lot of money over the past 70 years on flood control, and it's protected millions of people and has saved us billions of dollars. We've built dams to hold back the waters. We've built levees to keep the water off the people, and we've raised the ones that were originally started in 17th. It is normally expected that the final version of your thesis, which must be submitted to the university library, is both hard copy and electronic form, will be freely available to the public. Once in the library, your thesis may be consulted, borrowed and copied in accordance with the regulations. We can see X-rays that at an early stage of painting, the window was painted at the left of the portrait. It seems that there may have been two windows in the initial design for the portrait, or that the window was moved at an early stage. Researchers found that couples with higher satisfaction in relationship had greater neural synchronization while watching marriage-related clips, but they don't know whether there is selection-based behaviors arising from similar brain activity, or whether couples evolve over time to develop it. Psychology is the study of cognitions, emotions, and behaviors. Psychologists are involved in a variety of tasks. Many spent their careers designing and performing research to understand how people behave in specific situations, how and why we think the way we do, and how emotions develop and what impact they have on our interactions with others. Change in climate affect, for example, the plant and animal life of a given area. The presence of coal beds in North America and Europe along with evidence of glaciations in these same areas indicates that they must have experienced alternately warmer and colder climates than they now possess. One of the major factors influencing home design will be the probable change in climate, with hotter summers, colder winters, and the possibility of floods. Consequently, houses built with better insulation and will also need ways of keeping cool in hot weather, whether that's air conditioning or more shading of windows. Japan is the world's calculator superpower. Japanese manufacturers have led sales of calculators for over 30 years in many countries. Even in the age of personal computers, calculators are still essential in accounting jobs. In addition, calculators with graphing capabilities have begun to be used in education. Our major conclusion is that the current measure needs to be revised. It no longer provides an accurate picture of the differences in the extent of economic poverty among population groups or geographic areas of the country, nor an accurate picture of trends over time. Since our graduation admission school is not centralized, each of the university's 6 schools and colleges admits students to its own programs. For information about specific program degrees, graduate applications, graduate admission requirements and procedures, graduate scholarships and the status of your application, visit the individual school websites. The wonderful framework of mature trees creates the enclosed atmosphere that unites a great variety of plantings to inspire visitors in all seasons. Spring in the garden is marked by leafing up and flowering of trees and the eruption of the flowers in the bulb meadows and woodland understory. There are 2 types of soldiers in the Roman army, the Roman legionary and the auxiliaries. The legionaries were the very best soldiers and the auxiliaries were actually non-Roman citizens. Legionaries wore an undershirt made of linen and a woolen tunic. The linen helped the soldiers to stay cool while the wool helped to trap heat, keeping the soldiers warm.